Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am here to talk about boudoir. I know that's a subject that is sometimes, known as taboo.
Right.
Yeah. But we're opening up the conversation. I have two very special guests who have not only done the boudoir session, but loved it. Yes. Right, girls?
Yeah, totally.
We have award-winning injury lawyer Leah Wise, who's also a fashion blogger and has her own fashion line.
Yes.
And we have the amazing Cecilia Garza, who is an internationally renowned artist and an absolute badass.
Yes.
And it's crazy because these boudoir sessions, Leah did it about how long ago?
2 years. I did it in November of 2020. Over 2 years ago.
Over 2 years ago.
And I did mine November of 2012.
Well, both of you in November, 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yes. So I felt this was a very good mix because I want to know how you feel about it now, 10 years later, and what y'all's experience was, because I think a lot of women are scared.
Yes.
They want to do it. I mean, who doesn't want to?
Yeah.
I don't know any woman who wouldn't want to, but there's a lot of
hesitation.
Yes.
Yes. Hesitation. Fear. And I think that's why I wanted to talk and have a conversation and hear y'all's experiences and see what y'all had to say about it.
I loved it. I loved doing the boudoir shot. I remember it was like 10 years
Ceci,
ago.
remember you have to make out with your mic.
Yeah, that's right. Since we're talking about boudoir.
She was like,
you need to get, that's what I need to get tequila shot before, right? It was an awesome experience. I remember feeling, because it really is an amazing way to help yourself build confidence and see yourself in a sexy light, right? And I had just had my son, Mateo, in February of 2012, excuse me.
"Aw, that's beautiful."
Right. And so it was like, let's do something that is out of my comfort zone for sure. It wasn't, I don't consider, like, when I look in the mirror, I'm not like, you're super sexy, right? Like, and I feel like I'm very awkward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was definitely out of my comfort zone. But it was so awesome. And I have to say, you really created an environment where I could just chill and have a good time and do what I needed to do.
Thank
so it was
you.
awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lizette always says that I get everybody naked.
Oh.
It's true. It's true.
I'm all Leah.
So first, I think let's cover what boudoir means, because I think a lot of people don't know what that word means. So in your words, what does it mean?
So boudoir is French for bedroom, right?
Bedroom.
And I feel like it is what we here at the studio do is take sexy, empowering photos.
Yeah.
And that's funny you say that because I feel like every woman's thought of sexy is very different.
Yes.
Right.
I've done boudoirs with zero lingerie. Not that they're not wearing anything, but like they could be wearing like a long white t-shirt or a button up or, there's so much variation to what sexy is to anybody in particular. You did like a really cute, like
I did a football
jersey
because my husband's a football a football fan and
Leah,
a fishing shirt.
Leah, you did some amazing, gorgeous lingerie pieces, and I feel like both were so sexy, but so different at the same time. Yeah. And so that's important to note that like sexy is what you feel.
Right
and how you feel sexy. It's not, it doesn't have to be lingerie and it doesn't have to be, nude. It's as comfortable as you want to make it. But yes, I think I do tend to get everybody comfortable enough to get naked.
How beautiful.
So I did mine in November of 2020. I had just turned 30 that year, which is like a milestone birthday for pretty much everybody. And we were still in the middle of this like global pandemic. And I was you know what, I've always wanted to do this. Like, why not now? I'm 30. I want to do it every 5 to 10 years to really document like every stage of my life. And so I was just like researching, like, what do you wear to a boudoir? How do you say it?
Boudoir.
What do you wear to a boudoir photo shoot? And I was really nervous. And that's because like at that point in my career, I had already gotten over a lot of nerves being in front of the camera.
Right.
So I was really nervous, and I'm usually not that nervous in front of the camera, but I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna look? All my imperfections, Barbara's gonna think I'm ugly, she's gonna judge me. And then by the end of it, I was so comfortable with her, I was literally butt naked.
That's awesome.
I didn't care. Like, that's how comfortable she made me. So to me, it was such an empowering experience.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do it again.
Yay.
Maybe when I'm 35, maybe 40, but I loved it.
You could do 35 and 40.
Yeah.
Do both.
Well, and I love that because I think that what I'm going to do now that you say that is at 45 is do it again. That way I can see, like, because I was 31, 32. Yeah. So it's been a while. It's already been, yeah, because I'm going to be, I don't know.
It was 10 years ago.
However many years ago.
Yeah.
That's how it's been a long time.
Yeah. I love that you did it after having it was after you had your son?
Yeah.
I love that you did that. I don't know, did your body change or did it pretty much look the same?
It definitely changed. Things like grew, things were like, very voluptuous and stuff like that. But I think that I did it in that moment because there is a lot of self-awareness. And I was
you're like hyper focused
on
your body.
My thighs, my butt, like everything was different, right? And so in the decision to do it, I really didn't realize how, what's the word? How I would be so why I would be so nervous, right? And then walking into it was like, oh crap. But then we had a great time.
Yeah, it is. I feel like we're all, no matter how amazing our bodies are, what point in our lives we are so critical of our bodies.
Yes.
And it's crazy. Liz showed me a meme. What's that girl's name? Maura from that show.
From Schitt's Creek. I love that show.
Where she's like, take 1,000 naked pictures of yourself.
Right.
And it's because
that's so cool that she said that.
Yeah, because she says, like, honestly, I look back and I'm like, oh, I thought I was fat and I wasn't. You know what I mean? And so I think at any stage in our lives, and it's important to love our bodies, right? And show them love.
Right.
And years later, that's why I was curious to see your photos from 10 years ago, how you feel about it now, because, that was you 10
years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It makes my heart so happy though, right? To look at those pictures and be like, all right. I mean, I had just had a baby,
Yeah.
pretty badass.
And I do have women who come in after having a baby because they feel like they need to have that sense of sexy back,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like, being sexy is so...
It's an attitude.
It's vital to being a woman. It really is. I mean, I feel like we all desire to be sexy, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know.
No, you're totally right. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like after, I don't have any kids, but I imagine that after having a kid, you sort of lose that sexy feeling about yourself, and a boudoir shot is a great way to remind yourself just how sexy you are and how sexy you can be. So I think it's vital for women who have had kids to just feel like themselves again, get their some of their identity back of being beautiful. But because I agree, at every stage in our life, no matter what our bodies look like, we are beautiful in our own way.
We should celebrate them.
Yes.
Absolutely. And when you go through the 9 months of having being pregnant, right? And so your body is not your own. Then if you choose to breastfeed and you choose to do certain things, then again, your body is not your own for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And so to take ownership of your body and feel that sexiness it was such a liberating, exhilarating feeling.
Wow.
Because it was like, screw it.
This is me. Yeah. And so I have a question, because I know that you took your book and you gave it to your husband.
I did.
Right? Yeah. Was it this book for you?
It was mostly for me, but I have shared it with my partner now, who's now my husband. Yes. And he loves it.
I think that's awesome, because I do feel like, even though we want to give this to our significant others and we want to share that with them, it's really for us, right?
It is,
like I feel like there's nothing better than feeling. It's very empowering to feel sexy in some photos. So I feel like looking at that book, how do you guys feel?
So when I open it, like, my first feeling is like, I still can't believe I did this. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe I got completely naked in front of Barbara for the camera. And so I like how it starts modest and then it gets increasingly more sensual and less clothes. And it's just like a great reminder. Like if I'm feeling down, you know, I can look at it and I can be like, wow, I'm, you know, a badass, or like this was such a, you know, great time in my life. Despite what I look like, I remember the feeling,
right?
You know what I mean? The fun, the power, the just letting go, having fun, laughing. So it's a great pick me up for, you know, whenever you're feeling down.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's funny. Did you get any, like negative feedback before you did it? Was anybody like, don't do it, you know, you shouldn't take pictures of yourself like this?
Actually, no, because I never told anybody.
Right on.
After we shot, I posted a picture in a robe.
I remember, yes.
I was in a pink robe. I didn't post any of the pictures from the shoot, but I was in a pink robe and I was sharing with people my experience and how empowering it was. And all I got was like positive feedback.
Beautiful.
Like, hey, where'd you do it? Or how did you feel? Or were you nervous? Or, you know what I mean? And so I was glad that a lot of women reached out so I could share my experience and say, hey, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to have a great time no matter what.
Right.
And I will say this, it's really, I mean, you have an amazing body and you're stunning, but it's really about lighting and angles, right? And making whoever's in front of my camera getting the best angles. So I've had women who are, I think our oldest woman who came in was like 67 years old.
Beautiful.
I love that.
That is beautiful.
I've had plus size women as well. And it really it is awesome to be able to capture them and then they love their photo. I think that's most satisfying for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like you said, it really doesn't matter like at what point in your life. It's just it's an amazing thing to do and to go through.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever done
I
one?
know, that's a good question.
So I will say that in my maybe in my early 30s, I did some like self portraits.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So I have some like self nudes.
I want to see that.
But you've never been photographed by somebody else.
No.
And you should.
Yeah,
you know
Barbs.
what?
So that you can relate to your clients a little bit more.
Oh,
and
I am a mess behind the camera. So Crystal Kelly did my wedding photos, and I honestly had really never been on the other side of the camera. Like I'm always in front of the camera. I mean, behind the camera. And I was just so awkward. I was like, where do I put my hands? You know what I mean? And it's like
I can imagine.
weird because like I could tell my clients all day long, like how to pose and how to be, but behind the camera I mean, in front of the camera, it's very different.
As a photographer, how do you get your clients when they're doing these shoots to relax?
Yeah.
Like what's your technique?
How did you get Leah naked?
How did you get me naked?
Yeah, how did you get
From,
me naked?
I was like in my robe, not even wanting to take it off till like at the end of it, completely naked.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. No, it really, I think it's about connecting, right, with you during your shoot and also taking it like little bit. I'm not like, hey, get naked, you know what I mean? And then once we're in the shoot, you realize that it really is about getting the best shots and it's not this like, I don't know. It doesn't feel awkward at all. Like not for me and not for my clients. I don't think. I've heard that a lot, that they feel comfortable. So that makes me very happy.
One thing that I really like about you as a photographer is you provide a lot of positive reinforcement.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'm in front of photographers and they take, and they don't give any feedback. And it's just like, am I doing good? Like, how do I look? And you're always like, beautiful, love it, perfection, gorgeous. And I'm like, yeah. And then I get more comfortable. So that's something you like. It just comes natural to you. So
honestly, I don't even realize I'm doing it when we do behind the scenes. I'm like, oh my god, I sound like that because I'll also be like, ooh, yeah,
you do.
But you have no idea how helpful that is.
Well, I'm not doing it like purpose
fake. You're not being fake about it.
I'm not being fake. And people think I'm being fake. They're like, oh, you'd say that to everybody. And I'm like,
no, I can tell you're being authentic.
Yes. Like when I get a great shot, I'm like, ooh, I like that. Yeah. I'm very vocal, I guess, about it, which I think helps, right? Like,
well, and I think that you're also the type of person that wants to see people succeed and like you love to lift people up. And so it's just a genuine, natural thing for you to be like, yes, girl. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. It's never felt forced.
No.
To me, it feels authentic and genuine. And so I think that's helpful in getting your clients to feel more confident and like just having more fun with it. Also the music, I love how you always have music playing because that has a lot to do with your mindset.
Yes. We definitely like to create an ambiance where you feel comfortable, right? And we take it to where our client wants to. sometimes they get naked. I mean, I can't help it. We had one client who was like, I'm telling you, Barbara, I'm not doing any nudes. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I just don't even like the way they look. Like, I can't believe people do it. Like, just,
Yeah.
And by the end of her shoot, and she loved those were the oones that she loved the most. You know what I mean? And it's because I think we're so afraid.
You got it.
What is that?
Legs.
I didn't go that crazy.
Well,
a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know.
No, it was, and also it's very tasteful.
Yes.
Like the things that we do here are very tasteful. They're not these like.
It's not vulgar.
It's not vulgar, and that's one thing that I do pride myself in is taste, right? Because we have to keep it tasteful, unless you
want to be vulgar. I mean, like the client, right? Like unless you want to be vulgar.
But I don't think I've gotten anything that I feel like is vulgar. Like I feel like we create the mood boards, and we have, you know what I mean, and we like to keep it to where it looks and feels like you, but the sexy version.
Yeah.
Of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
And even if somebody did want to do something slightly vulgar, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
agree.
who cares? It's for them. You know,
Right.
the only person who's going to see it is them and whoever they choose to share it with, and
That's right.
Barbara.
And Barbara.
And there's a way to be like, sexy, promiscuous, and still keep it tasteful. But
Yeah,
So I feel
agree.
like, have you ever told somebody no?
Yes.
You have?
Well, one time.
Okay.
I did have a male.
That's different.
Yeah, I just feel like, okay.
That's different. You can draw a line.
He wanted completely nude, and at first I was like,
no.
like kind of like a Michael, like that one very famous sculpture.
Oh, Michelangelo?
Yes, Michelangelo.
Okay.
I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would
Yeah.
be tasteful, but he did not want
Tasteful.
tasteful.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I had to say no. It would just be really awkward. That would be awkward for me.
You also have to respect your own boundaries
Correct.
that you have for yourself.
Yes.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask. Right before you said that it was a male that was like, no, I was going to ask if any men have ever come in to do boudoir sessions.
I would love to do a man boudoir session. I would.
You would.
But like not like completely nude.
Right.
You know what I
No.
mean? Like we had
With a thong.
What would a man boudoir session look like?
No, I feel like it would have to be
It'd
like
be a lot of back shots, I feel like, just the butt.
I do. It just doesn't have to be super nude either.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it could be. I have
Just
been
sexy.
asked. Yeah, sexy guy.
Yeah,
You know what I
sexy
mean?
dude.
Mm-hmm.
I have been asked for couples. I have done a couples. boudoir.
Really?
Yes. Yes. I
Was
have
that
done
weird?
Yeah, I know. Like, did they get like really into it?
No, it wasn't weird. I guess it could get weird,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
wasn't weird. Like I said, I think we keep it
Classy.
tasteful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We're not going to go crazy, and it's keeping it tasteful. I think is the best.
I bet it's hard to advertise your boudoir services because nobody wants you to show their photos, right?
Exactly. Like you didn't know Ceci had done her
Yeah.
boudoir session,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't. Like I have a lot of clients that probably that have done boudoir and that that have done boudoir, but nobody knows because obviously they want to keep it private, and I respect that.
Yeah,
and
of
I think it's
course.
something that should be kept private if that's what they want.
Exactly.
So, yes, I would love to share all of my boudoir photos, but McAllen is such a small.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm slightly more of an open book than most people.
Yeah.
Even then, it still gives me pause, but I think I might share one or two.
That's
Obviously,
beautiful. I
not
love
the
that.
nude ones, not the nude
Not
ones,
the
but
nude
like
ones.
the
We have
the
some
more
very tasteful,
the more
lingerie
clothed
shots,
ones, just to spread awareness.
Yes.
Not to like, I want attention or look at me,
Yeah.
but like this is how like helpful it can be to your life, your mental health, your attitude, your overall mentality, just to spread awareness on the benefits of doing one of these shoots.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like it encompasses all of that. Like,
Yeah.
100%. Like I feel like I need a boudoir shoot now.
You should. You do.
You do need one. I would love to see it. Yeah.
Somebody here wants to shoot me.
Lizette.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Lizette
It's
naked too.
You did. See?
And Liz, I got her naked too. Yes.
Barbara's
While you
seen
were
all of
pregnant?
us
That's
naked.
beautiful. I know. Damn, I didn't do naked ones though. I'm going to come back.
No.
Yeah,
come
next
back.
week. 45.
45.
45 and naked.
How
That's
old are
right.
you now, if you don't mind me
I
asking?
am 43.
Okay.
Right? I was born in 79, right?
43.
One time I forgot it was my I thought it was my 40th and I was turning 39 and I planned a 40th trip. And I was like, let's go. But I was actually, so I can never be too sure. But it's always a year. Like,
yeah. That's cool that you don't worry about it. You're not like focused on your age at all.
Well, Prince said it best. If you count, then you age, right? So he was like, I don't count my birthdays.
It's all about how you feel.
Quoting Prince over here. Yes, I love it.
But yes, you definitely need to do one.
Yeah.
I do. I would love to do it. And I would probably share a couple of my photos.
Good.
I would love to see them, yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
I bet you would.
Yeah, dude,
No,
I
just
love
kidding.
you. I have a crush on you for years.
So I have one question for you girls.
Go.
For somebody who was on the fence that wanted to do this, what would you tell them?
First, I would ask why. I feel like, why are you on the fence? What is preventing you? And then that would then lead to the rest of the conversation. But I feel like sharing my experience and being authentic about that experience, I just feel like it would break down those barriers in somebody, right?
Yeah. I think I know why for most women, a lot of people are first not comfortable in front of a camera at all, much less in front of a camera, sexy, lingerie or whatever it is that they choose. But what I would say to them is, I get why you're scared, because I was scared too, and I felt the fear. But when you go with the right person, honestly, like, it's just a good time. And you forget about all of your flaws that you think you have, all of your marks, all of your cellulite, whatever. Because if you're with the right photographer, they make you feel comfortable. They give you that positive reinforcement. I would never, like, if I ever had a bad boudoir experience with I've only done one, only with you, so I can safely recommend you, but I would say make sure you do your research on that photographer before, see what the reviews are, because you want to go with a photographer who's going to make you feel comfortable, and I can say that Barbara does. So I would definitely say, like, to me, it's all about the photographer. 100%. And I think it was just us, right?
It was just us in the shoot. And a lot of people like to keep it that way, and I feel like that's totally fine, and I feel like it's whatever makes our clients comfortable.
Yeah.
It does make it a little harder for you though, right?
It does.
Because then you don't
100%.
have somebody fixing the hair, adjusting the
more people on set, the smoother and the faster, the quicker we go through the shots. But again, for us, I think the most important part is a client experience. And for us, it's like whatever the client does. All our sessions are custom for each person that comes in. So I think for us, that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also say that I get why you're scared, but I can honestly say you won't regret it. Like, it's going to be something you look back on and say, I am so glad that I did that. Because, I mean, I am. I'm so glad that I did that, and I'm excited to do it again, just to document my life, or me, through the stages of my life.
And everything changes, right? Our bodies change. And so to be able to then go back and, like you said, document those changes and love those changes, right? That's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
and I want to add to you, I would also say not to allow anybody to talk you out of it, right? Because I will say that I had somebody try to talk me out of taking, somebody near and dear to my heart.
What was their reasoning?
Because how would I feel if my daughter found those pictures, right? And this is what I would say. I can't wait for her to find those pictures. Because because the day that she does, she will see that I'm both mother and woman and wife and like I am all of these things, not just her mom, right? And so one day when she gets to that point, she will know it's okay, right? It's okay to be both sexy, and you have to be you and also be there for them, right? Yeah. And so that, I can't wait for the day, because she's going to be like, whoa, my mom wasn't such a square. Like, she wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, put your shoe, do this and do that. She was also this woman that took this, like, leap and did something sexy.
Do you have a daughter? I
do.
Even know that you had a daughter.
I have a 13-year-old daughter. She just turned 13.
Oh, cool.
And so, and it was just funny because she was 2 at the time, and that was the question that was posed to me. I can't even believe that. When she sees these pictures? And it was like, oh, I can't wait.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, and for her to be like, my mom was a sexy ass bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's good.
Yeah. You know?
I'm like, yeah.
I don't have kids. I don't know if I'll ever have kids, but that wouldn't be something that it would even cross my mind. No. Yeah. Because I know that whatever I'm going to do is going to be tasteful and empowering, and I would want my daughter to see that, you know?
And I hope for the women that are listening that ever feel that way, it's important that we're sexy and who we are, right? Like it's a part of who we are. We're women.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that I hope that gets rid of anybody's like doubt. So don't listen to other people, listen to yourself.
I have a little, not confession, but a couple of years ago, I was trying out Boudoir, right? And I hadn't really done a lot of it, and a lot of times I used my mom as
a model.
As a model.
I love that.
And I was like, Mom, would you be willing? And I got her like a little nightie, and she must have been like, 70 at the time, and she wasn't the one that came in. This is this was just test shots. So I have a couple of photos of my mom, like a little sexy, very very tasteful, very covered, but still sexy.
Still sexy. Yeah.
And I love those.
I love that.
I love seeing my mom that way. You know what I mean? And making her feel that way was also really awesome. You know what I mean? Like seeing her like kind of come out of her little shell, because she's a very reserved. She's not like me. She's very reserved. She's a very proper lady. And to see her come out of her shell like that was really awesome. So I think really at any age, and I love that you said that. Like I would like if I found photos of my mom when she was younger like that, like that would be really cool. Like I would love that.
I feel like it would empower me in the moment. Like if I were to find pictures of my mom who would never, right? Never. I would feel like, yes, like, okay, all right, it just would change things.
Yeah.
I just decided that I'm going to get my mom.
I love
to do it. Because next year, she just turned 64. So next year she'll be 65. So for her birthday, I'm going to make sure that
I could feel you having that thought. Because I was like, dude, that
would be an amazing gift.
Yeah.
That would really be an amazing gift.
Yes.
Would you do it? Would you be down for it?
I could talk her into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll give me like pushback at first, but I can talk her into it. Yeah.
Oh
and she's pretty free-spirited, very like, kind of hippie.
That's cool.
Like she's into like yoga and gardening and the environment. So she's, not super like, what's the word? Uptight. No, she's not super uptight. So I think I could get her to do it.
We need to have an agenda. It needs to be get your mothers into boudoir shots 2023.
Yeah.
Wow,
the
that would be
boudoir
awesome.
agenda.
Leah, I cannot wait. I hope she really does it, and I think that would be really, really awesome.
I am going to double down, and I'll see if I can convince my mom. Let's see. I mean, it would be beautiful.
How old is she?
My mother is 65.
Oh my gosh, our moms are like the same age.
Yeah. And so I feel she's the one that gave me the pushback. Right. So I feel if I could get her, I whisper like if nobody's going to hear me.
I know. I'm always
Is she watching? No, I hope not. But if I could get her to do it, that would be like, what a liberating thing to break through those chains of doubt.
How do you think she feels about it now?
I think that maybe I could convince her, because it's been, years, right? Like, and I'm sure she's gone through her own battles of insecurity and going, like, let's see. We'll revisit this. I'm excited.
Well, I have 1 year to convince my mom. Okay. So because she just turned 64. So in 1 year, she's going to be here.
Yay. I love it. I can't wait.
And she'll let us share her photo. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably not.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but honestly, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted us to have an open conversation about our experiences, because I feel like people would be surprised with the people that have come in and done boudoir. I know that it's not something I can really share, but we have a lot of women who come in and are so like grateful to have those photographs of themselves.
Yes.
And I just wanted to open up the conversation. I can't share any of the photos. Maybe Leah's, I will be able to share one or two, but thank you, girls, for coming on and being so genuine and honest about y'all's experiences. And
thank you for being so professional about it.
Right.
Creating a space for women to feel comfortable, to let go, and know that they're like in good hands, because I mean, there's a lot of photographers out there. There's a lot of great photographers.
Sure,
and there's some sketchy photographers, right? Who you may not feel 100% comfortable shooting with. But I can honestly say that, like, any woman who comes in here and wants to shoot with you, like, they're going to be in good hands. They're not going to feel weird. They're not going to feel like, I don't know.
It's a safe space.
Like maybe their photos might get leaked, because I'm sure people worry about that too, right? It's like, what if my photos get leaked, or, you know, what if Barbara's staff sees them or whatever? But I know that, like, here it's like safe. Extremely professional.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yes. Very professional. Correct. So thank you for creating a safe space for women to come and do that.
Welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. And today is actually, so I don't think I mentioned this. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but today is March 1st, which is the beginning of Women's History Month.
That's cool.
And
I was gonna say let's cheers.
Yeah.
She finished hers.
Can we get a little more tequila on her? We're gonna cheers right now.
We'll cheers for.
They're getting more tequila.
We're gonna Women's Month.
No, and it just makes you think of how far we've come.
Yes.
You know what I mean? How far we've come since. I mean, they said that this is the era of the woman, right? Because women were so. We were so oppressed for a very long time. So I'm grateful that we're here. We're able to talk about it, and we're able to cheers to
Cheers, ladies.
History Month.
Women's History Month 2023.
Amen.
Yay. Amen.
It's so good
sip this time.
Right? The tequila is so good. Wow.
It is. It's really good.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes,
this was
thank you,
such
Barbs.
a great time.
Yeah.
What a great way to kick off Women's History Month.
Yes, what a beautiful way.
And thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you, my friend. It was wonderful to be with you guys today. I loved it.
I love you guys. Let's all
thank everybody for watching.
Thank you guys,
Bye, guys.
and
Bye.
we will catch you all soon.